everyone. Happy October. Thank you so much for joining me today. Okay, so I am starting a Shop My Stash series here on this channel, and I'm going to do mine roulette style. So I have all of my complexion products in a Google spreadsheet, and I am going to be using a random generator to pick out whatever I'm going to use each month. I've seen a lot of Shop My Stashes where people just like, oh yeah, I think I'll do this and I think I'll do that, which I enjoy because clearly I watch them. But I haven't seen anybody do a random generator for everything in their Shop My Stash. The only thing that won't be in this is eyeshadow palettes. I'm also going to be starting a Pan Those Eyeshadows project that I'm not sure when that video will go up. I'm not sure which order these videos will go up because this is a new channel and I haven't quite decided where to start. So anyway, I have a lot of complexion products. I have 265, which is probably going to end up being 272-ish. That includes primers, foundations, concealers, setting sprays, bronzers, blushes, highlights, and face palettes. So I have a lot of makeup, but you know what? I'm not going to apologize for that. I refuse to feel shame for that. Some people collect designer purses that cost $400 or $500. Some people like designer shoes, watches, all sorts of perfumes, all sorts of things. And so and I know some of those things you can resell, etc. But I find joy in makeup. It makes me happy. And if I can, you know, afford to spend the money, then I refuse to feel shame. That's the one thing that kind of makes me cringe about a lot of Project Pan videos is people just, they feel like they have to apologize for having so much. And I think at the end of the day, you know, whatever brings you joy and whatever makes you happy, it's completely up to you. I know that I have way too much makeup. I mean, let's talk about it seriously. So why I'm doing this is because I have 43 foundations and I don't want to just focus on 12 a year. So what I've decided to do is to do at least 2 a month, and everything's going to be in 2s except for blushes, bronzers, and highlights, because I will pick one of each of those and then a face palette. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, no judgment on anybody on how they do this. I just want to get use out of my makeup. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do Project Pan. That's going to be a story for another day. So I'm coming at you with a bare face because I thought it would be fun at the beginning of each month if I show you these products applied. So that's what we're going to do today, and I'm going to start with foundation because that's the first item on my list, and I may have to put my glasses on, but I am going to do, so I have 43 foundations and number 3 through 45. Now 4 of these are mixers or a different shade. Like I have 2 very, very dark foundations to make a light foundation darker, and then I have a white foundation to make a dark foundation lighter. So some of those are, it's what I'm trying to say, it's not all, they're not all light, but most of them are. Okay, so I'm gonna put my numbers between 3 and 45. Oops, I'm using the Pretty Random app on my phone. I'm not used to it, so we'll see what happens. Okay. First number is 5, and that is the L'Oreal Infallible. All right, and then number 22 is the foundation drops from Makeup Revolution. So let me grab those and then we'll keep going. This is the L'Oreal Infallible. This is in the color Pearl. This is a bit too light for me. And so I have the foundation drops in F2, which will hopefully pair well together, and then I will put them on my face. We'll see. They may or may not react well together. But yeah, so so after I've worn these for a month, I will decide if it's something that I want to keep or if it's something that I want to go ahead and destash, because there's no use of keeping something in my collection that doesn't work for me. But a lot of these I've used once or twice for a video or something like that, or just bought it because it looked good on someone's skin and like, oh, that looks beautiful, I need it on my skin too. So yeah, anyway, these two are my first two. Let's talk about concealers, and that is 651 through 95. I actually have 46 concealers, 45 concealers. Also, some of these are color correctors, so of course I'm not going to pull 2 color correctors. One will be a concealer and one will be a color corrector. So the first number is 88, and that is the Sleek Contour Kit. And then we have number 84, which is the NYX Born to Glow. So this is the NYX Born to Glow. I believe this is in the color Light. Pale. I'm pasty and pale. So this is like 0.7. It looks really small, so I may be able to get some really good use out of that. And then this is the Sleek palette. This is their cream contour kit. We'll see if these colors work. I can probably mix a couple of colors, and then I can also use this for cream, bronzer, and highlight. Again, I'm not trying to hit paint on anything. That's not what this necessarily is about. It's about me wanting to get some use out of products that would rather, you know, would just probably just be sitting there. I can't talk today. All right, let's do primer. So primer is 99 through 132. 112. Which is the L'Oreal. Oh, good. I was actually working on that in a project pan. So this is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. I may be able to finish this. This is one of my most favorite primers ever. I have really dry skin. I'm in my 40s, so my skin isn't as luminous as it used to be. So I like to put an illuminator underneath, and I count these as primers. And then the next one is 100, which is the Becca First Light priming filter, which is the purple one. This actually came from BoxyCharm, I think. So it's this one. So we have 2 illuminating primers. Go me. I should probably highlight the ones I'm using. I'll go back and do that. Okay, next will be setting spray. I'm actually already working on a few. So I have this one, which is just about done. This is the Hyaluronic Fix from Makeup Revolution, and then I have these 2 small ones from Tarte. So I'm actually going to skip setting spray. This is the Rainforest of the Sea. I don't care for this one, but this one is Stay Spray. I actually really like this. It smells really good. I feel like it does, you know, keep my makeup set. It does have a little bit of luminosity to it. I don't think it's supposed to be an illuminating setting spray. So I'm going to skip this. You're also not going to see me pull mascara or a brow product. I already have those open, and I don't want to just open them to shop my stash. You know what I mean? All right, let's do a blush. Oh, dang. 151 to 193. This isn't even all my blushes. I'm waiting for like 6 more today. I got it in my head that I wanted a bunch of cream blushes. 169. Is the Milani Rose Powder Blush in Romantic Rose. This is like a very neutral blush. It's got a little bit of coralness to it. You guys see that? Really pretty. That's gonna be nice to wear. And again, I'm only gonna pick one of the powder complexion because I am gonna pick a palette. So let's go to bronzer. Bronzer and contour is 197 to 218. This is hard to do without glasses on, y'all. 217. And that is actually a cargo bronzer. I think this is a bronzer. It may actually be a blush that I've mistaken for a bronzer. So I have these acrylic drawers. I probably should show you shopping, like actually shopping my stash. Maybe I'll do that next month. I don't know. We'll play with it, and if I don't think it works, let's see. with it right now. And if I don't think it works as a bronzer, then I'll move it to the blush category. That's what we'll do. All right, for highlight, I have 224 to 257, 241, which is this ColourPop Super Shock Shade. The ColourPop Super Shock, the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Inflexitarian. It's this one. I've actually used this. It's really, really pretty. I love all of the Super Shock formulas. So that's the face. And then let's pick a face palette to work on as well. I'm thinking about doing a pan that palette, but do a pan that face palette rather than an eyeshadow palette, because there's no way I will ever be able to pan an entire eye palette. That's why I thought I would do a pan those eyeshadows, because I have right now, let's see, I will have, by the time the year's over, I will have, I think, 90 eyeshadow palettes. And I say that like that because, because I plan on getting the Natasha Glam palette, but I'm going to wait to see if it goes on sale for Black Friday. I'm really, like, it's so hard to find any kind of cool tone palettes. $262, which is my Profusion Blush and Glow #1 palette right here, which is a glowy kind of blush toppers and a highlighter. Some highlighters. And then I only have 3 powders in my collection. That's because I have very dry skin and I don't like to wear powders. So I go between the NYX High Glass, the Revolution Skin Finish, and then the Halo Glow setting powder. So we'll see how this looks on my face, and then I'll decide if I need a setting powder. Probably not my best work, but it'll do. Like I said, I just wanted something quick and simple. I'll finish up the lower lash line and stuff after I put on my complexion products. So I pulled, I'm gonna go ahead and use my True Match Lumi this time, just because I'm used to this primer, and since this will be the first time I've used this combo for my face, I'll know if it was, I'll be able to tell if it was just the foundation so it didn't have to wail. And I put this all over my face, but if you're someone who's oily, you may not want to do that. You may not want to use illuminator at all. I mean, your skin is naturally luminous. All right, so let's give this a try. I'll go ahead and clean off my little e.l.f. palette here. I got this online. It's this little heart, but it's a little mixing palette, and you can actually wrap your hand around it, and it's very, very helpful. So I'm going to do 2 pumps of this L'Oreal Infallible, and I'm going to do 1 drop. This may be a mouth foundation. I'm not sure. I can't remember. So I think I'm going to color correct with this. This kind of peachy shade. I have really deep set eyes, and I do deal with some darkness underneath them, but I'm always going to look like I have like crevices, because I have crevices. I have caverns. I could, you know, consider getting filler, but it's just, I don't know. I remember, I think I've told this story on my other channel before, but I told Rob one day that I thought I wanted fillers, and he's like, is that something you get on Amazon? And I was like, no. It's something you have to get from the plastic surgeon, who I see every once in a while, because I had a trigger thumb, and then I developed a trigger finger, and you actually go to a plastic surgeon for that, which is interesting. He was also like, do you want carpal tunnel surgery? And I said no. It's like, I've had carpal tunnel for 23 years. I was like, if I wanted to have surgery, I would have done it a long time ago. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone until I can't leave it alone any longer. back surgery. I had back surgery last year. That was traumatizing enough. Ooh, that's yellow. That's really bright. I can't remember what I thought of this. I remember liking the foundation, except the foundation is like, it's not, there's not a whole lot of coverage. And if you guys couldn't tell, I prefer a fuller coverage just because I have so much redness I have to cover. Now, I'm not a I'm not a guru. I don't consider myself any kind of influencer. I'm just some fat girl on the internet who likes to play with makeup. So please don't think you're gonna come here and get like the most amazing makeup tricks ever in your life. Like, that's not really the goal of my channel. I don't think I'll be doing a whole lot of reviews or anything like that. Just because like, my goal isn't to purchase more makeup. My goal is to use up what I have. Which may not always be fun to watch, but it is what it is, right? Okay. Like, go ahead and let that sit for a minute before I do my under eyes. I also didn't pick a lip because I haven't put those in my spreadsheet. Plus, for me, I like to do my eyes first, then I can pick a blush and pick my lipstick. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on my bronzer. I honestly think, the more I think about it, I think this is gonna be way too orange for bronzer. I'm gonna move this to my blush category instead of picking right now. I guess I can go ahead. Let me go ahead and stop for a second and pick a bronzer. 200 is the Fenty Mini Bronzer in Shady Biz, and a little sampler from their website. So go ahead and put this on. I normally prefer a like an illuminating bronzer. So I don't count, like, for face palette, it has to have 2 separate products in it, at least 2 separate products in it to count as a face palette. So like, if it has a bronzer and a highlight, or a blush and a highlight, or all 3, then I count it as a face palette. So that's why this Blush and Glow from Profusion was the one that I picked, because it has both. Right now we can put blush on. And like I said, I pulled the Milani Romantic Rose. That's really pretty. This reminds me of Tarte's Party. You guys remember that one? When all of us got it from Sephora as a birthday gift and everybody's tried to paint it. I almost bought the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I don't really care for that palette, but I'm like, everybody paints it, so I'm like, I need it too. That's not a good reason to buy an eyeshadow palette. I've really, like, honed down my collection. I know you guys are going like, well, Misty, 90 is a lot. I know it's a lot, but it's all palettes that I love. It's palettes that I love the color story, or I like the formula, or something like that. It's not anything that I'm like, I don't want this ever in my life. You know what I mean? All right, time for highlighter. I'm just gonna use my finger for this. I think I'll just pick it up on my sponge. It really is pretty. And that's the whole point of this, is to pick things that I haven't touched in a while and get some use out of them. And if I hit pan in the process, well, go me. I'm not going to complain about that. So pretty. Okay, let me go ahead and use my blush palette to add just a little bit extra highlight. I'm gonna go ahead and use kind of this goldy color because that's really the color that this is. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of that with the white, just a little bit. Whew, that's pretty. I really love Profusion face products. I really like some of their eyeshadows too. They've gotten to be where some of their formulas are a little hit or miss. And like some palette will be so good and the next time palette will be like, what the fresh hell is this? Like I tried their Emeralds palette and I just did not care for it whatsoever. Okay, someone, probably named me, went a little overboard. So let me see if I can blend some of this out. All right, I'm gonna put on setting spray first. I'm gonna go with this one. Again, this is the Hyaluronic Fix. Actually, no, let me just use both of these Tarte ones and maybe be done with it. This is the Rainforest of the Sea. It smells like some kind of cleaner. Pine Sol something. Ugh. And I'm going to top it with this one. Like I said, this is the Stay Spray. I'm trying to use it up. Like I said, this one comes across a little bit more dewy, luminous. It doesn't say that it is, but it comes across that way for sure. All right, let me go ahead and do brow mascara. Been using the Milani. This isn't my favorite. I actually prefer the one from Ulta. All right, just need a lip. Let's do this. It's the fall. We can get away with vampy eyes and vampy lips. This is a liquid cat suit. I have no idea what color it's in. Hopefully I won't end up with makeup all around my mouth. That is, or lipstick all around my mouth. That is something that I really struggle with. And I don't even go that far in with my lipstick and I still end up with it around my mouth. So my friends, that's it. That's my Shop My Stash for October. So like I said, I'm going to spend the month using these products every time I put on makeup. We'll see how far we do. It's not a project pan style project, so I'm not going to track progress or anything like that. But I will tell you what I think of the products at the end of the month. If this is something that you enjoy, let me know. Or if you would rather just see me, you know, pick the makeup and not put it on my face, I can do that too. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this new adventure on this new channel. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell if you want to, give this video a thumbs up, say hello, introduce yourself. Let me know if you're doing Project Pan or Shop My Stash and I'll check you out. Thanks so much. I will see you soon. Bye for now.